That's the one I wanted to show you. In fact, 3 feet later, upon waiting for you-know-whom, this is the bloody hospital. I've just missed it. It just flew off. But it's the first time I've ever seen a woodpecker. Giving it one of them as well. How don't they get a headache from that? Anyway, on that note, let's find out what we're going to get up to today, shall we? Did you see that bloody troll thing? Oh my, what does that mean? Well, that means we are back in Sweden, doesn't it? My new happy place. It turns out, I think I just drove here to see that troll. There's nothing else really going on around here, so we'll go back on the road in a minute. However, I did have a pizza. Why, I hear you ask? Well, because we're in Sweden now, and we don't have to refinance our bloody ancestors to buy food anymore. That's why. And I just treated I kept hearing like a chirp. I was like, what? I thought it was a speaker, because there was a speaker right behind me, like above me. There's this big old crow just there, just sat on the other chair, waiting patiently. So I just gave him a slice, didn't I? It's made both of our day. Well, I hope so. I hope they're not allergic to bloody pizza. But it has made my day, certainly. Hopefully I haven't just, you know, the crow. However, if you did want to go see a big old troll, the name of this town or village or whatever you want to call it is Arjang. Fill your boots. I found one with the prices on. 1 million Swedish krona. That's what that is there. £73,000. That's 675,000 krona there. That one there, more importantly the house, not the bloody the right in. £49,000. 110,000. This thing here. Apologies on the reflection. It's about the best I can do. 8,030 quid. Which means that cabin I stumbled across, the one the local introduced me to. We're back in Sweden, bearing in mind now, not Norway. I daredn't look up there. That cabin must have been 10 grand. It must have. So yeah, that pizza, for example, I got a pizza and a Fanta. I don't usually drink rubbish, like I try and cut down on this stuff, but it's like a normal Fanta one I haven't seen in a while, like the purple one. I haven't seen this one in years actually, and my God, bring it back to the UK, baby. 9 quid for a large pizza. Yeah, it was a treat. I don't do that all the time either. Large pizza and a Fanta, 9 quid. Look at the blood. Yeah, they're cabins, I get that. I wouldn't look at the cities because I'm simply not interested in that stuff. There was a lakeside one there though, and it said 4.5 mil Corona, which, going off that maths, it's in my pocket, the prices and stuff, so you may have to do that yourself. But like a perfect picturesque absolute bad boy was 4.5 mil Corona. In fact, you know what, I'm gonna bloody look. You deserve to know. I'm talking absolute picturesque, the best house you can ever imagine in the woods, right? By far, with the best view. Again, the reflection was put in the messing with the camera kind of thing, so I didn't go into that too much. 4.5 million Swedish krona is £328,500. So for the best house, like genuinely, I have seen 330 G's. Don't you just love this place? Look at that for a bloody view. You love that, don't you? That is stunning. This is Sweden, baby. Absolutely charming. This is probably the quietest absolute gem I've ever found in my life. I need to check my notes to see what it's called. Sorry, I look like a bloody Pokemon. I need to double check my notes to see what this church is called, but oh my. How are you doing, boy? Look at that for a view. Some dude kayaking or whatever. This is stunning. Jesus, that terrified me then. There's a bloody lawnmower cracking a cut. Oh, There's a lot of these out here as well, you know. Free roaming, do it yourself, bloody crack on lawnmowers. Look at the bloody thing. It's not even cutting anything. Unless it's absolutely silent. There's 2 of them. How much are them? This is stunning. Isn't the world getting scary with all this AI stuff? That's obviously AI, isn't it? Otherwise it wouldn't know how to map out the ground. There's tufts of grass everywhere. Can you see that? In the sun. Someone needs to give its algorithm a prod. This is stunning, this. Come to Sweden. Come to Sweden. Today's been a little bit of a shopping day. We've had to go to the Lidl. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Lidl. Purely because it's cheap and cheerful. That's why we need to keep the costs down. Why? Because we're in Scandinavia, that's why. Being in Scandinavia means that no Lidl is too close, ideally, because you're surrounded by this. I say this, you can't really see it now, can you? Look, are they lawnmower tracks? Look at this. Where was it going? Can you see them? Let's follow it. Brilliant bit of kit. Just stops at the fence. So the name of this is Arvika Church. The same town I was in earlier on, however, it's still half an hour away. And we are, you know, you turn left and you're on country roads. And I don't mean country roads, I mean country roads. So this is the main church apparently, but it's further away from any sort of, from where it should be that I've ever experienced. It's too far away. They're normally in the centre, aren't they? I love that. I wonder if anyone uses it. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to park here because it's private property. You know what I told you about the rule, the right to roam rule yesterday, or in the last video rather, because I don't upload them every day. Because of things like today, for example, you know, it's been a bit of an admin day. Here's some more tyre tracks. Look, the bloody robot thing's gone into the woods. What's it doing? A bit of an admin day, shopping, getting dog food. That's the important thing. That's what I've been doing. So this video is split into 2 halves again, like, but it is still half an hour away, in the middle of nowhere, and you're not allowed to park here. That doesn't make sense to me, but it doesn't need to. It's not my rules, is it? It's not my country either. I'd be doing it if I was at home, like 100%, but like I said, I don't break international rules, and neither should you. Look at that Vitally or Vitale or whatever his bloody name is, Mr. Philippines. What an, oh God. What a silly guy. Beautiful that, isn't it? Anyway, we must carry on to our next stop. I'll get the dogs sorted, try and bribe them back into the van. Wish me luck. Come on then, we've got the photo. Good boy. Oh, your breath, boy. Jesus. No, we haven't got this photo yet, boy. Come on, stay there. Come here. Get your goody, little nose. This is beautiful, isn't it, boy? Did you just try to bite me then? You little bugger. This is beautiful. This is what Sweden's like. This is what Norway's like. To be fair, yeah, I do love Norway. I've told you this a million times, you know. And I've told you the reasons why as well. This place, Sweden, is something special. This is the 2000 and whatever you want to call it, 2006, 8, 10, whatever, Jose Mourinho. This is something special, Sweden. I just can't get over how perfect it bloody is. And then you can rewind yourself, like rewind a bit, looking at the house prices and the cabins and that. My God, it's heaven, it's heaven. The only problem, the only way they can improve this place, the only way, is to be more lenient on the old you know, even if it's just medical, you can get some sort of spray out here, or a medical thing out here, if you know what I'm talking about, you know. If not, just fast forward 10 seconds. Oh, I was having a schnoz in my nails. Right, and on that note, we'll leave that at that. Gordon Ramsay boy. What a view, eternity looking at that. And you know what, no, I won't leave it there actually. I'll be careful what I'm saying here, but to me that is ridiculous. Ridiculous with a capital R. Purely because it's grown by the universe, isn't it? The earth has grown it. And then people go, oh yeah, well it harms more people than it helps. Do not go there. If you are, you know, if you drink alcohol, do not go there. Let me tell you some facts. You ready? You ready, aren't you? Like I said, the facts. I know roughly the numbers, but I want to be kabosh about this, right? According to the WHO, yeah, the WHO, 2.6 million per year occur due to alcohol consumption. This is 2019 data. That is roughly and approximately 7,123 per day. Other estimates are slightly higher, in and around 3 million annually, which translates to approximately 8,200 per day. That's from the toxic juice, the legal juice, by the way. Do you want to know how many die per day from what I'm talking about? None. Google it. Google it. In fact, here's one for you. How many people have, from what I'm talking about, since records began? Zilch. Nada. Zero. Not one. So people who say, oh, and they go, oh, it's dangerous, it's this and that and the other, and they drink alcohol, hit them with that. That's fact. No one ever has, from misuse of thingy. The only way people have lost their lives because of what I'm talking about is due to being a moron, driving on it, you know, operating heavy machinery on it, doing silly things like that. No one has ever OD'd from this. Ever, full stop. So that's my personal take on it, right? That's my personal thing on it. But like I said, I adhere to international rules. I'm not absolutely tonked off it, by the way. I'm leaning on my knees. Look at that. You know what? No, that's me relaxing. See that? That's normal. That's my calm, limp state. You should see it when I tense. That's why the dog's over there. He thought I was going to tense. He was getting wary, a bit anxious. You can't blame him. You know what I mean? That's my personal spin on it, my personal take on it. Like I said, I do not break international rules like whatsoever. But in my humble opinion, for what it's worth, which is nothing, right? Well, it is to me. Of course it is to me. It's my humble opinion. I need to protect my humble opinion. We're all entitled to one, and we all bloody have one as well. That, in my opinion, is how you can make this country absolute heaven on earth. Absolute heaven on earth. And it won't be long, and I have done some research, because I am eyeing up a cabin here now, like, I really am. Whether or not it will materialise is another thing, but I really am eyeing up a cabin here. How can you not? Like, Jesus. How can you not? And I'm like, you know, I am medical, right? So I'm like, what's the leniency on it? And it's 0, no pois. You know, the same amount of points they give us on Eurovision. 0 pois, no pois. England, no pois. Alright, babe, the sheep bold. Yeah, but there's no talk about it in Parliament or whatever over here, whatever their version of Parliament is. Like, that's mad, isn't it? That blows my mind. But that, in my humble opinion, for what it's worth. Again, don't, you know, terrorise me in the comments kind of thing. But doesn't it make sense to you? Like, did you not hear them numbers? Search it yourself. Like, I'm not making that up. I'm not pro Snoop. Well, I am actually. He's a bit of a ledge, isn't he? But doesn't that make sense? I don't know. I don't know. That's for you to decide. But again, don't attack me in the things. I'm trying to just teach people about stuff, different takes on life, and different, where things can improve, where things are brilliant as well, and everything in between. That's all I'm trying to do. That is how you can improve this place, in my humble opinion. And if what, you know what, ban the juice. Ban the juice. If you're missing out on tax dough, ban that. The one that's statistically harming people daily. My father-in-law included. He's no longer with us because of that toxic stuff. So it's very, very close to my heart, kind of thing, this stuff. But I don't know if it makes sense to you or not. I don't want to fall out with anyone, but it just makes sense to me. Anyway, we'll leave that at that, and let's continue on with the rest of our lives. And this is home for the evening. Not literally, like. We parked just behind that red building there. Look at this bloody place. How stunning is that? I've decided to stretch the dog's legs out, kind of thing. He's really tired. I keep forgetting he's 10. I don't want to admit that. I keep forgetting he's 10. So I may have to plan in again. Oh, is this where everyone's parking, is it? I may have to schedule in a rest day for him, like a complete rest day where we just get a campsite. I'll have a decent shower. You know what I'm missing? You know what I'm craving? A bath. I think this is a campsite. I'm parked just there for free. Hashtag winning. This is a charming spot though, isn't it? Look at that. Lovely. The world's most picturesque campsite, eh? Look at it. Hopefully you can walk around this lake. Saying that, I'm hoping it's not like one of Sweden's biggest lakes, because it'll take me about 4 days to get around the bloody thing. The name escapes me, the lake I was at the other day. I'm sure it began with V though. That was the biggest lake in Sweden. Guess how big that is? Because I'm interested in stuff like that. Interested in Loch Lomond, and the biggest and best we've got, although it's not the biggest in the UK, which is Loch Ness. That's in Northern Ireland. Where are you going, boy? Loch Ness in Northern Ireland. But going off Loch Ness, sorry, the biggest metre squared, that is, not the biggest surface area, because that's Loch Lomond. Did you know that? This is Loch Ness aside. That's not as recognisable to everyone else. No one's really heard that, although that is the actual true biggest. Loch Ness is the biggest on mainland UK. The lake I was at the other day is 100 times the size. Isn't that concerning? It's okay, boy. It's okay. He's concerned that's the boat we're gonna get. Look at this for a view. Even though it's overcast, it is spectacular, isn't it? I need to show this church properly. This is stunning. You ready? You ready? Are you ready? Ready? It's not that, well it is that as well, but just look how respectful this is. I dread to think how old that is, but there's still flowers, same with all them down there. All neat, all taken care of. None of this queuing up behind people accidentally standing on someone's grave, basically. Followed by that view. You've just seen where I was with the boat. This is the same lake. Look at it. Look at it. It's stunning, isn't it? The word of the day, stunning. I'm not making it up. It's every single one. The ones I've just shown you up there are clearly the big ones, the more expensive ones. These are the more cost effective. But yet the respect is still here. None of the headstones or graves are on top of one another. Like I said before, and I will say it again, it's almost as if they care about you out here. It's a completely different world. If you need a breath of fresh air, Sweden, baby. Told you before. Sweden, baby. The plan today. Ooh, We go east, don't we? We go bloody east. We're heading towards Stockholm. We've booked our ferry. I'll touch more on the ferry prices and stuff later on. You've got Stockholm, long story short, which is 4 times the price, or you've got somewhere 20 minutes north for 4 times less the price of Stockholm, for the same thing overnight as well. But again, I'll touch more on that later on, exact costs and all this sort of stuff. Wowza. Anyway, we should probably get on the road now. Come on, boy, let's head east. Welcome to Kristinehamn, southeastern Sweden. A random, not popular tourist area. However, let's go and see if it's worth a visit, shall we? And so far, so good. Look at these buildings. It's like the buildings sell it for me. You know, I don't know if that's the same for you, the same page as what you're on, but for me certainly, and I bloody love it. We're aiming for yet another church. It says Gothic spiral on it. It says must not miss. Time will tell if that's the truth or not. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. I'm joking. But that is a church next to another church for some reason. Look at this place. Now there's a few reasons why I love a church, or any religious building, to be honest with you. But I mostly just stumble across churches. It's not because of the bloody beautiful building, and it amazes me the years in which they were born, and this was 18 something. It's not just that, the architecture side of things. It's not just the reminding whether you do or you don't over there. It's always the same outcome. It's also, you can gauge a town, a city off the church. I mean, if it's spectacular like that, chances are the rest of it is going to be as well. Just like why I look at the house prices. If the house prices are extortionate, you can gauge whether or not how cheap it's going to be, how expensive an area it's going to be. This is a beauty, which means this place on paper should also be a beauty. However, we are in Europe, and something I have learnt, it doesn't necessarily mean if there's an outstanding church, it's going to be an outstanding area. I mean, this just keeps going on and on. They go above and beyond in Europe. So beautiful, it will never be this sort of big kind of thing. However, a beautiful church is not unfamiliar to see in the smallest of towns, you know. That's the reason. It's not just the architecture I appreciate, it's not just the respect and stuff the religions bring along with it. It's not just the reminder that I give myself, I try to every single day, whether you do or you don't. That's the outcome. You know what I'm talking about, baby. But you can also gauge the state of a place to an extent in Europe. But, you know, if it's off its nut, come on. It's going to be a good place, isn't it? There's a Gothic one as well, look. Look at the chains on this. That's like real chain. That's real chainage, that. Won't be too disrespectful to the thing, just in case it's Dracula's one. Look at this. Oh, Gordon Bennett. It's lovely, isn't it? I do appreciate a good old building, you know. And looking around this area, it is stunning, like the houses. You know, I don't know if you can make that out over there. I'll try though. Like that. The little yellowy, milky sort of looking one. And here we go, a tree. A tree burial. Lovely. That yellow one also there. Stunning. And that's what they look like. I'm not in the world of recording people's homes and stuff, but I just wanted to give you a little sneaky idea of the buildings around here. And more often than not, they're made out of wood. I don't know if that's an internal thing or just the external to make it easy to maintain kind of thing, but they're beautiful nevertheless, aren't they? Don't pretend you wouldn't live here if you could. 100% I would live here. I need to spin. Dogs walked around me again. Oh my. Yeah, look at these. Charming. Right, we'll move on from the church now. Turns into a church appreciation page, which it's not. I just genuinely, I do appreciate a good building. Like I said before, I've had to build a brick wall, and I could not believe how long it would take and how annoying it bloody was as well. So I've got someone in, so I do appreciate a good old brick building, because that is skill. Ignore that. Behind me is another example, and above me is another example. Imagine it. Imagine it. This is what it's like around here. This is what I keep saying. Don't go to the, it's your life, do what you will. How many times do you want to go to Spain? How many times do you want to go to the Canary Islands? Jeez Louise, there's a different world out there, you know. That's all I'm trying to show you. There's a different world, a more welcoming world as well, which is the important thing. Followed by corners like that, and I'm not going to pretend for social media. We are in sort of like a, that's a little cafe thing, to be honest with you. But to say that's in the middle of nowhere, near like its version of the cafe in like a borderline industrial estate, you love it, don't you? Same town, different design. I love that, and I will tell you why. I love it because I think we live in a world where it's too modern. I mean, look at these windows here. I don't know what that is. I think that's, hello. I think that's a bar or restaurant or something, hence why I'm recording it. Look at them windows. You don't have to all be the same, like when you think of the modern cities and stuff. The modern flat pack towns as well, the whole housing estates. Drains morale. There's a certain uniqueness, I suppose, about this place, which I love. You can have like, you know, red wooden things here, bloody a completely different spin on it here, and then back to the red wooden stuff here, you know, and I bloody love that. There's something seems to be pouring out water over here, a mist thing, if you will. So I'll go and show you that before we head back to the van. The only other place I've seen this, like a gentle mist for the people walking past, is the new camp in Barcelona. You know where the new camp is, don't you? They're doing that up at the moment. I can't wait to go back once it's done. That stadium, it's the story behind it. They actually love their city there. Again, it's just a shame they don't want tourists there. But once it's open, accepted or not, I am going back there. The reason being, they go to England, don't they? But yeah, you don't understand how nice that is. Not so much today. It's a bit overcast, as you can see. You know, it's almost fleece weather. It keeps jumping in and out of fleece weather, basically. But you don't understand how grateful you are for that subtle mist when you need it. Whereas you're going to be scared, man. What's the point? You're going to look. I told you, you can go this way if you want, but it's for no reason. We both know that. Curiosity bloody backhanded the dog, did it? Come on, what do you want to do? It's dodge, innit? Do you want a bath? Do you want a bath? No. Talking of the temperature here, and touching on how grateful you are for that subtle mist kissing your cheeks when you walk past. The evenings here, now the date today, let me double check, because like I said, I'm always a week or so ahead. The date today is the 26th of August. It's only been the last 2 nights. However, in the evenings, and I'm talking 10 o'clock latest, when, you know, matey boy is going for his final, it's one of them. And you see you can see your breath. Gordon Bennett. But in the daytime, I'm not joking, you can, it's like you're in a poolside holiday, like you're on a poolside holiday. It's that sort of temperature. It doesn't make sense, but that's the beauty of Scandinavia. Real summers, real winters. I don't know if that's your cup of tea, however, if it is, you know where to book next. Hashtag just saying. Obviously we didn't learn our lesson, did we? Just some ducks, boy, just some ducks. He wanted to go on the next one. We're nearly there, boy. Sometimes I swear dogs and stuff have been sent here to test us. Jesus, this doesn't sound too safe, you know. It's over now, though, thank God. That didn't feel too sturdy either. Oh my. No idea. Still no idea. Ooh. town hall, and as you can see, skateboarders paradise. So yeah, what would I say about this Christine Ham? Worth a visit, yeah. But it's not like a spend all day here kind of thing. It seems to be just to pop in if you need some snacks, if you need to fill up certain things. It is beautiful, mine. That's the town hall, like, and you've seen the rest of it. Even have I shown you down there? Look at that bloody thing. I think I'm going that way anyway because the van's down there. But just to give you an idea, not a set up shop for a day or two place, in my opinion. However, well worth a visit if you're on the way to Finland or happen to be in southeastern Sweden. It's a bloody Chinese place. Did he find bloody a gram of antimatter, did he? I understand that's not the best shot, but you know what I'm trying to show you. And this over here as well. It's like all these buildings, they're that stunning. You'd be proud. It'd be the highlight, and you'd be proud also if they were in your towns, your villages, your cities, like, you know, London and all the big places exempt. They're worthy of them places anyway. Look at them. I mean, I know I've only shown you a snippet, but shown you a snippet, but they really are. You'd be proud of them. I love it. Whilst you're looking at that absolute dream, I want you to think of a Pablo. No, what we spoke about before. I was on about Picasso. That behind me is a Pablo Picasso sculpture, look. You love that, don't you? But unfortunately it's very getting a lick of paint, if you will. You love that, don't you? That's the first bloody Pablo you can think of. Guys, I thought we were sorting it out now. I thought you were sorting it out. The first Pablo you can think of. That behind me is a genuine, legit Picasso. He designed that himself. He didn't build it. And that's the Christine Ham claim to fame, this thing. I might as well show you rather than look at my bead head. That's their claim to fame. That is a real Picasso. It's the largest Picasso on planet Earth. You didn't know that though, did you? No. Why? Because you haven't been here before. That's why you need to explore, spread your wings to learn, and more importantly, and more wowzer, look at that bloody house over there. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine it? Oh my God, I've annoyed Ariel's dad or something by the looks of things. I'm gonna have a lightning bolt come up from the sea in a minute. What is going on here? It's not a tsunami, is it? Calm, calm. Okay, I come in peace. I'm only visiting. All right, it's a good sculpture. It's a good sculpture, and it is the biggest in the world. There's some photos of it all singing, all dancing over there, and I'll record that in a second. Lovely. Don't miss out on this. Pablo died in 1973 on something of April. In fact, let me double check this. That was a good guess, wasn't it? It was the 8th of April 1973 at the age of 91 in Mulgins, Francais. You bloody love that, don't you? People think, and myself included until I heard this years and years ago, you think he's like an 1800 artist, don't you? But he's not. Died in 1973. I'm going to show you some photos of that all singing, all dancing. One that I liked in particular was the Northern Lights. Something else you've never seen before, have you? I haven't had a chance. It's wrong time of year for it at the moment. Not all the time, granted. Sometimes you do get blessed randomly by the gods during this time. However, I haven't been fortunate enough to see it this time round, but I have seen them before. And to be fair here, the Aurora Borealis, or whatever you want to call it, the Northern Lights, all it does is mess up your phone signal. Did you know that? When I seen them for the first time, I was a signaller in the Royal Marines. This is before I was a drill instructor, and it was a nightmare. Like, the Northern Lights are out. I was like, good. I couldn't get comms at the best of times, let alone with the bloody Northern Lights flickering around. But it is beautiful, don't get me wrong. And there's a picture of it up here. That's what I'm going to show you. Not built by him. He's never been to Sweden. You didn't know that though either. But this is their claim to fame, and respect that. built by someone called Carl. I'll double check that in a sec. Carl Nesjar was the name of the guy who made it, or built it rather. Don't know the year, don't really care about the year either. This is where it gets good. These are the photos of it all singing or dancing whilst they're not doing all that sort of stuff. Here it is, there's one. That's the one I wanted to show you. It's beautiful, isn't it? Not that, that's just a completely mental, mate. But I'm on about this. If you've not seen it in real life, you need to come up here. You owe it to yourself, guys. Anyway, we continue east now, don't we? A city, a beautiful city and a half is next. Let's go and find out then. Boy, you know how to ruin the audio, don't you? Welcome to Oribro. And I don't mean half Oreo, half Haribo. What do you reckon? Will that be good? Anyway, let's go and have a bloody look at this place, shall we? Describe Oribro. Oribro is one of those cities that feels both storybook medieval and laid back modern. Like Sweden's best kept middle of the country secret. What does that mean? Oh, bloody hidden gem. This is going to be good. I can feel it in my lack of hair. Okay. This is ticking one or two boxes, guys. There's someone over there fishing as well. I didn't zoom in on him. He's got his shirt off for a reason, and for one of the reasons, one of the big reasons, we can fish here as well. Alright. Pause on the okay thens and the alrights. Wad Coping this place is called. This is old Oribro town. I'll show you more down here. Just briefly. They saved this. So during the 19th century, i.e. 1800, when the city was modernising, they moved these houses here. These houses are from the 17th till 19th century. They brought them here to save them from demolition. And it's still a thriving place. It's a toy museum, a or a toy shop, museum and restaurants and blah blah. I mean, look at this bloody place. How good is that as well? Saving the history. What on earth is this place all about? Please tell me dogs are allowed in here. Yeah, come on, let's have a look. I need to spell this as well. Oh, in fact, here he is. That's, how random is that? I didn't do that on purpose. So I need to spell this out of respect. So Hjalmar, Bergman's house. He is a local famous author. Find this bloody geese in there. Leave it alone, boy. Come here. You bloody love how it looks like I know what I'm talking about, don't you? That's true, by the way. Oh, that's true. I read it. I'll make sure I don't get any information incorrect. Partly out of respect and partly because I don't want to spread false information. What I love about that is them buildings were set for demolition and they saved them. Don't you wish we'd done that more often? Recycling, baby. Recycle a house or two. Recycle anything. These ducklings. Oh, there's a mother duck here as well. There's big old little duckling, big ducklings. Let me try and show you. How big were them bloody little ducklings? Get off the breast, guys. It's time to move on. Go and find your own bloody pond now. There's plenty of them around here. No excuses, literally no excuses. In fact, 3 feet later, upon waiting for you-know-whom, I found one for him. Right. You might... Excuse matey boy there, airing his tackle out. He's just about to go fishing and I need to hear this. Interesting part. What is the GDP of Sweden? We'll talk on the UK afterwards. The GDP, well, how much is the country worth? What have they got in the kitty? What have they got access to? The word GDP or the letters GDP don't matter. That's what it means. How much are they worth? Sweden, 620.3 billion. The United Kingdom, 3.64 trillion, right? No, I'm no expert, but out of them two, the UK is 6 times bigger economy-wise. They're worth 6 times more, and out of them two, which one's throwing the money back? Which one's recycling the dough for the people? Which one's making it a livable place? Yes, the population. Let's talk population. Sweden's population is 10.5 basically million. Well, it says 10.6 actually. Other estimates it says 10.6. UK 68.3. Other estimates I say 67 million. How big's the area? Which is bigger? I hear you ask. United Kingdom 94,060 square miles. Sweden 173,860 miles squared. Oh my. But yet their parks are all gleaming, their toilets all work. You know, I don't want a debate about it, but it's a clear winner. Who's putting the money where their mouth is? Who actually cares about their bloody people? It's a breath of fresh air, this place. Like, it really is. This is what you can do. Where is all our money gone? Where's our dough? I'm a little, you know, legally, I don't pay tax. Legally, right? Because I've worked it out, like I said, I've read all the books. So there's ways and means around it. However, I bloody did every single month during my time in the Marines. Now I'm in property. Blah, 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 blah. Where's all our dough? Remember that story I told you about the poo on the stick in Chelmsley Wood, the highlight of my childhood? Where's that money? Why is that a cripply old, falling apart turd on a stick? Think of a park that's apart from Hyde Park and all this nonsense in comparison to this place, this random park I've just walked through. It is nonsense. No comparison. An insult to bring it into the same conversation, if I'm being honest with you. Where's all our dough? All these guys' toilets work. Potholes. I've seen, you know, where I've seen a little bit of a pothole is where there's a sleeping policeman, like, you know, a speed bump, because they do it sometimes with tiles and stuff like that for some weird reason, to be honest, but they do it nevertheless. And you know, sometimes it dips a tad. That's the only pothole I've seen. Where is all our dough? Beautiful, isn't it? What I just touched on there is true. I don't. Remember, knowledge is power. Remember that. Use it or lose it. Arm yourself or harm yourself. I bloody like that one. It's true. It's true. It's ridiculous. How are these able to do this? It's every country I've gone through. They seem to care. All you need to do is go to bloody Birmingham. What, the second most thriving city. Look at it. Look at this. You've never heard of this place. There's many more as well. I'm getting annoyed here. I need to change the subject before I get wound up. Just chilling outside bloody Engelbert Umperdinck's house, next to the most beautiful bridge thing you've ever seen in your life, followed by a castle that we're going to touch on in a minute. Taxpayer money, really, Swedish taxpayer money. No, I will leave it. I will leave that there. It can be done. That's what I'm saying. So why aren't they? That's what I'm saying. Full stop. Ori Abo, I can't remember the name of the town. This is the castle though, look at it. This is a hidden gem. I'm not just saying that either. This really is a hidden bloody gem of a town, village, city, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, to be honest. Well, going off that, it's a city, isn't it? Holy moly. If I was from here, I'd be so proud. Walking around every day, I'd be fresh air, healthy lungs, healthy habits. I've not seen, you know, people obviously have a tot around here, but I've never seen, you know, someone stumbling around and that and urinating up someone's wall. Look at it. Again, completely different world. There's one or two other places I want to see before we head back. It's about 7 p.m. now, i.e. past my bedtime. But I do want to show you one or two more places before we move on, back to the van and move on in the scheme of things with my old vids. Let's check the map. This is the absolute beaut from the other side, followed by Cinderella's house in the background. We're going to have a quick look at that actually. I've just seen that by accident, but let's go and have a look. A fully functioning bloody mort, look. Or moat. Mort? This isn't a pharmacist, like a family guy, Kieran. Come on, switch on, son. Smile then, boy. Smile then. Oh. Am I making this up? How have they afforded this with 600 and something billion? And again, this is to some random country. Bear in mind, right, Elon's worth, you know Elon, he's worth about, well, it fluctuates, doesn't it? But say, it's fair to say, like, let's say for argument's sake, 300. He's worth half of this place. Not this town, Haribo Oreo, Sweden. He could run something like, my God, no wonder he's building rocket ships. What would you do with the dough? You're worth half of the GDP of Sweden. What would you do with the dough? It's like they haven't even skimped on the lamp bloody posts. Oh my God, I love this place so much. I do, I really do. There's Cinderella's house. There you go, look. And there's a flag on top of it, look. Let me tell you a quick story. There was one of them, you've seen the flag, it's got different colours in, about 6 different colours, and nothing against that, right? But when I was in the Marines, they put that up on camp. Bearing in mind, I worked with a very strict Catholic guy, very strict with it, and he was like, I'm gonna walk off, he was Irish, I'm gonna walk off Republic of Ireland, walk off camp in a minute, like, and he was going mental. Anyway, fast forward a little bit, true story this is. A recruit unfortunately passed away whilst I was on the training team, not in my troop, but I did see him the week before. I used to teach him how to do the gas training sort of stuff like that, and how to survive nuclear blasts, and believe that or not, me, yeah, I taught them. And what's it called? A recruit unfortunately died in the most horrific way you can think of. I won't talk too much about it, but essentially he plopped in somewhere like that, and by the time they found him, he was no longer here, and they tried to save him, but they didn't half-mast the flag, you know. It's against protocol. That's a true story. Again, nothing against the flag, you know. I don't know, but that's a true story. You can bloody quote me on that. This guy looks like he's having a bloody 8-pint leaning lunge with, doesn't he? It does baffle me how small people from other corners of the world are. But there you go. Everyone's different, aren't they? Beautiful. No one was thrown in the river. Thank goodness. That I don't mind too much, to be honest with you. It is annoying if you haven't seen it in a while, and it's something to also be aware of, especially if you're struggling. I don't know how to word it, but you know what I'm on about. You've seen the people who I was just talking about there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they love a photo. Not a racial thing, not a racist thing either. It's the fact. And they bloody will get it. That's their mission. They won't move. That's their mission. That's a cultural thing, so I forgive that. If you say hello to them, they'll still smile, smirk, you know. The only cultural thing I'm not happy with, to be honest, is when you say hello. It's not just a cultural thing, is it? 'Cause it happens in the UK as well. You say hello and they're this mug you clean off. That infuriates me, because that's not a cultural thing. That's just rude, isn't it? I just fancy standing here for a bit, seeing what's going on. But yeah, it's not a cultural thing, that is it. It's just rude, if I'm being honest. But yeah, they're all fine. This makes me laugh, like, no dogs. Yeah, alright, Brucey, don't sniff that pole. Make sure you can read that now, son. We're just heading back to the van now. I've bought myself an extra day in Sweden, and I'll touch more on that in a minute. Because I love Sweden so much, I've bought myself an extra day. I've pushed the ferry right until, I think it's Friday, and again I will cover how to get to Finland when the time's right, but it is only Tuesday now, so I bought myself a little rest day about halfway into the trip. Coincidence that we've landed here. Yeah, It is actually. I didn't know this existed, just like you didn't before the start of this video. This place is absolutely stunning. Absolutely bloody stunning. I would move here in a heartbeat. I don't tend to like the cities. Too busy, too chaotic for me personally. You may be different. Barcelona is my favourite city. Nevertheless, I still would not live there. It's just too chaotic. Here though, I wonder what other... I don't suppose someone from Sweden's watching this, are they? By the time you see this, I will be gone. However, for next time, and if someone from Sweden's watching this, and you know where I am now, Oro Harabo, something like that. If you know the town I'm in, you're like, yeah, that's good, but it's not the bloody best. Can you tell me what the best is? Can you tell me? I'm assuming it's not Stockholm, because it's a city, it's a capital, isn't it? It's your version of London. It's their version of London, depending on who I'm talking to. So I'm assuming it's not that. However, I could be wrong. If I've missed somewhere, can you please let me know? Please. This is the bloody hospital. That building's just as spectacular. I wasn't going to record it just because it's a hospital, but there's no one in this building. But what I'm getting at is, Timmy, how did you break your bloody leg? Well, you're not going to believe this, are you? What on earth is this? What on earth is this? Is this a climbing frame, is it? My God, I hope not. They've got a bloody cage bike rack as well. Did I say bike cack? Bike rack. Where you store your bikes whilst you're in hospital. I love it. I absolutely love this place. Alright. But honestly, like, let's be honest here. Need I say more? Like, really? It's not only the cost of the bloody property out here, it's not even a standard of living. That's a massive, massive important thing. It's not just a standard of living. It's not just a blanket sheet of community morale that I've witnessed. It's not just the architecture. It's not just the motorhome friendly bloody places. That was perfect timing, wasn't it? It's not just the numerous free parking spots for everyone in cities either. It's not just the politeness, the welcoming you with open arms, which is rare. Bear that in mind. Very bloody rare actually, unfortunately as well. It's not just a blanket societal decision to embrace the outdoors either. They didn't know I was there. They was both like doing a bloody TikTok or something. I was like, Abenaya, singing in their language, like. Then noticing I was like, oh, it's not just that. It's not just the communities I've stumbled across either. Don't know if I've said it's not just the friendly nature of the whole country. It's not just the fact that they recycle their money back into the community whose money it is. It's none of that either. It's the fact. The list goes on with this as well. The nature, the trees, you know what I mean? Like, where do I end? I can carry on for days. It's none of that. It is collective, it is combined, yeah, granted. That's the point. That's what makes it magical. But merging that into a collective is what that offers in a world of hatred, in a world of pain, suffering. We see the news, don't we? I've stumbled across a heartbeat of a country, not just a country, sorry, I don't know what you want to call it, Scandinavia, I don't know what it's considered as. I've stumbled across somewhere that bloody cares, a silver lining amidst the storm. That's why it is outstanding. We can't end the video too serious now, can we? Hence the toilet. A toilet I guarantee bloody works as well. What are the odds of that? Anyway, you legends, I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, thank you very much for watching. Like I said, I'm trying to change the mental health world, and I can only do that with views, so I genuinely do appreciate that. Me, what I'm going to do now is go back to the van. We're about 100 metres away from the van as I speak, and sort him out. He didn't eat his dinner earlier on, so I'm going to try him again now, myself included, because I'm starving after all that walk. Tomorrow is an off day, not that you will notice that, because I'm a week or so ahead of schedule, so you won't notice that. It'll just continue perfectly. But that's what's happening in my real life. Anyway, you legends, thank you for watching, and as always, take care.